For you, what do you want?
Self-managed.
Is he stable or not? So that is what I want to say as an A&D doctor. I'm an A&D now. So I want to see, is he stable? Or let me look at the vitals. Okay, let me look at the vitals. Oh, vitals are not stable. Okay, first let me stabilize first. And then I'll find out why is he having this particular problem. So this is what you say, role specific management. So if you're an A&D doctor, this is your role. You don't keep the stabilization bit aside and no, I want to find out what's going on, only then I'll stabilize. That's not your role. Okay. Right, so first we spoke to the patient, done. Then we found out he's conscious or unconscious or whatever it is. And then if he's conscious, he'll give you presenting complaint, we know what's going on. Almost all the scenarios of a presenting complaint is shortness of breath in our case. All shock scenarios, patient complaints of shortness of breath, UTI, sepsis, again, shortness of breath, chest infection, sepsis, shortness of breath, anaphylaxis, shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, heart failure, shortness of breath. So almost all the scenarios, the presenting complaint is shortness of breath in our case. Okay. And if you see two major presenting complaints, what you get in your day-to-day practice or life. First one is pain. Second one is shortness of breath. Only these two problems brings the patient to you immediately. The rest usually they wait. Oh, I have slight pain in my leg. It will go tomorrow, let's wait. Or say, I'm feeling a little bit dizzy. Oh, let's see. We'll go to the doctor if it gets worse. But if you have severe pain, okay, now immediately I want to go to the doctor. Or if you can't breathe properly, immediately you'll come to the hospital. So these are the two very important presenting complaints which you should be aware of. Right. So this is the structure for your Simman. So basic structure, that means basic backbone of your Simman scenarios. So first we spoke to the patient, done. We found out he is conscious, done. And we got the presenting complaint. We asked onset questions. We asked if he has any other symptoms along with the presenting complaint. And then we checked the vitals. Clear here so far? So vitals, so from here we will distribute our pathway into stable pathway, unstable pathway. So that means here the vitals are stable. We go with combined station pattern. That means we go with history, we go with examination, and the management plan. If the vitals are unstable, then you have to stabilize them by doing ABC. Right? So for example, how many medicine scenarios have you done so far? So many. Have you done ABCD in all those stations? Because they're all stable patients. So when the patients are stable, you don't do ABCD again to stabilize them. Very simple logic, right? But most confusing, and many doctors, 90% of the doctors don't do it correctly. Okay? So the vitals are stable, always stable pathway. Combined station. That means you need to examine the mannequin. For example, we have a dizziness station. Patient came with dizzy spells. So he is having this dizzy spells from the last 3 weeks. And he had 3 episodes so far. It is not continuous, it is on and off. He had only 3 episodes and he feels like he's about to fall, but he's not falling. Answer questions done. You check the vitals are all stable. So now do you want to go with ABCD? Or do you want to go with continue with your history and then examine the CVS? So this is what you have to remember. For the stations what we already have, you might know them. But if you get a new station, you have to simply close your eyes and follow the structure. Right? And on the other side, unconscious patients. So unconscious patients, so we'll see unconscious separately after the conscious. So we have only one unconscious patient so far. So that's why we'll be mostly discussing about conscious scenarios today. And we will touch on unconscious as well. So at that time, we'll go in detail. And yeah, so in unconscious patients, even if the vitals are stable or unstable, we still go with ABCD approach. Why? Because we already know that disability section in ABCDE has a problem. That means his GCS is low or he's hypoglycemic. Because we know there is some problem in disability, we are doing ABCD to stabilize that disability section, right? Same with confused as well. We don't have any confused patients. One unconscious and all the rest are conscious. Okay. And the stable pathway and unstable pathway. So stable pathway, we have four scenarios. Unstable, the rest. So what are the four scenarios we have? For stable side, so we have acute limb ischemia, we have atrial fibrillation, which is the disease manifestation, we have UTI, and we have post-cesarean section pain management. So these are all the four scenarios we have for stable side, and all the others are ABCD, so we stabilize. Okay, so we have hypoxia scenarios. That means patient is tachypnic, hypoxic. Blood pressure is stable, blood pressure is fine, heart rate maybe slightly tachycardic, temperature is also fine. So we have asthma, we have COPD, heart failure, opioid overdose, morphine overdose. Shock, we have all types of shock. Hypovolemic, hemorrhagic, anaphylactic, septic. So all the shocks we have. And low GCS, we have one station, hypoglycemia. And thromboembolisms, so we have acute limb ischemia, we have pulmonary embolism. There is one thing which is